Hey everybody, this is Jonny Guarco from Real Life Trading, and I have an awesome guest for you today. I can't wait to hear this man's story. Mr. Eric Grego from Pennsylvania, former Marine. What is up, my man?
Not much. How are you doing? How's everybody doing?
Awesome. Can't wait to talk to you and hear your whole story. Before we get started, Eric, can you do me a favor and just introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Eric Grego. I'm originally from New York. I was born in Queens, but when I was really young, my parents moved upstate. We moved up to Kingston, New York. That's in the Catskill area. Grew up there, graduated high school right after high school. Right around the time I was getting ready to graduate high school, I watched Heartbreak Ridge. And I knew I was going to join the Marine Corps. So I did. 91 to 95, I was in the Marine Corps. I was with Kilo Battery, used to be Gulf Battery, 311 and 29 Palms.
Hoorah.
That was from 91 to 95. So pretty much every field exercise that anybody needed artillery in, I was out there during that time frame.
Oh, yeah.
Got out in 95. I had no clue what I was going to do. I was going to drive. I was actually driving back to New York, stopped in this area just to visit a few relatives that had migrated out this way.
Mm-hmm.
They were asking what I was going to do. Same thing. I was like, I have no idea. At that time, a state correctional facility was opening up, just opened in this area. Feel like you should put your application in here. And I was like, all right. And I actually talked to a few people that had just started there. It was brand new, only open about a year at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Got hired there. And I've stayed there the entire time. I'm getting ready to retire next year from that.
Wow.
So while currently I'm a lieutenant there, I'm actually holding the billet, job title, the critical incident manager. So like I tell everyone, I said COVID has definitely made my life more interesting managing that there.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Sounds awesome. So I heard you say you're getting ready to retire.
Yes.
Somewhere along the way, you got interested in trading stocks. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was the interest in trading stocks more grew from one of my best friend from the Marine Corps days. We're best friends to this day. We still get together 2-3 times a year. Want to carry that on after we're both retired because he's actually works for the state out where he's at. He's getting ready to retire. COVID hits, stocks drop, as everyone knew. That's about all I knew about the stock market at the time. Other than like me and him always used to talk through the years of, we're in our 30s. Like, man, we should have learned to do this. We should have learned to do that. It's like, yeah, we should have. He got a stock tip from a friend of his. He researched it a little bit. He called me up, sent me a text like, hey, we should get in on this. And I was like, okay. That was basically the extent of the conversation. Like, sounds good. We'll give it a try. Put some money into it. And it actually worked out. Well,
Wow.
It worked out till it didn't.
Yeah.
And even when it got over with, I still came out good on it. But I started wanting to learn more about the stock market from just that experience and just started doing some research on my own and going from there.
Yeah. So, stock market, why the stock market? What was the interest there?
It just kind of grew. It grew from being on a page with a stock chart and starting to see, okay, there's pattern. Maybe there's something here I could figure out. Kind of got interested in it. Like I told you when we first met, I thought I had this great system that no one ever came up with. And I was going over with my girlfriend looking at just the line chart. I was like, look, when the price seems to get down here, it goes higher, and then it gets to here and it goes down. I said, there's got to be something with this. Got onto YouTube and then learned, okay, that's what the support resistance thing is. And I was like, okay, there's something there. But then I started getting overwhelmed with if I would have found real life trading back then, it probably would have cleared up a lot in my head, starting with something like that. And then it just started to grow, and my girlfriend was real supportive. And at that point, I just wanted to learn more and say, hey, there's something here that I can do maybe,
Right. So, you said that you're getting close to retirement. Was that more because you're interested in generating another income stream? Or was it more like, wow, let me figure out what I'm going to do after I finish my career in corrections? Or maybe a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. It started to grasp my interest during COVID, because there was nothing else to do. Like we talked about, there was no sports, there was none of that. So it started grabbing my interest, and then that interest started growing into, what if I can do something like this, then it just pays for a trip in retirement. Nice. Or something like that. So, it started, and it's the daydreaming, and me and my buddy talking, and me and the girlfriend talking, like, hey, what if it just pays off for one trip a year? Wouldn't that just be awesome alone?
Yeah.
And it started to grow the interest in wanting to learn more. And then, it just grew from there.
Mm-hmm. And there was a little bit of natural trust there, right? Because your buddy in the military, you know how all us military service members, right?
Yes.
We kind of trust each other, right? We like to do things together. We hang out together. We trust one another. So it was like almost automatic, like, yeah, but if you checked it out and it seems like it's something cool and will work, more importantly, then let me check it out, right? You had that trust.
It was definitely that trust, that bond we had, that even if it didn't work out, we were going to have a funny story to tell one day. Like, remember that time you told me to buy that stock?
Yeah.
So it was going to work either way.
Uh-huh. So you were checking out the stock market, learning how to trade potentially. Somewhere along the lines, you chose to go towards real life trading. I mean, there's a lot of trading education companies out there. What made you go with real life trading?
It kind of the same thing. I kind of stumbled upon it.
Uh-huh.
During that 6-7 months, I had started, trying to learn on my own, research on my own, trying to figure it all out on my own.
Right.
And I did do a coaching session with somewhere else before that, but that had really left me flat. Like, I got stuff out of it, but it didn't get me excited again. But I'm at the point where I was, where I know I need something else, I need some other direction, something to tie this all together.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm reading some books, and I really started getting into volume, like knowing that this was something I needed to learn.
A really good thing to get into, right?
Yes. I started getting, I was like, let me go back to YouTube, and I just stumbled upon one of Jerremy's videos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first one I watched. And then I seen that, and I saw he had more videos. Watched the S-curve one. Then I was like, okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking the way this is being taught to me, how this is being explained to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, maybe there's a website, and yes, there was a website. Got on the website, and then, I was, from all the other places I had looked at that, you pull up the website and there's all this free stuff. And I'm like, okay, I know it's not free, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way it can be. So I'm looking at that, and I just kept looking at other areas. I'm like, okay. And I just kept coming back. And then I saw, you had the military program. Right. And I'm like, I have not seen that anywhere in that manner. And I'm like, okay, I'm liking this. Then I'm seeing you got the mentorship starting soon. Watch that video, and it was just something that drew me to it. And I'm like, okay, I'm really narrowing this down. That's when I emailed you, and we just talked. And it was just like everything you were telling me answered my question. Like, I didn't understand how a community-based type education would work.
Right.
What I'm getting out of that. And it just we clicked. And then you were like, hey, there's this guy that's going to be in it, Brett, I'm like, oh, I saw his video too. He's like, do you care if you talk to him? I'm like, absolutely not. And I talked to him. I'm like, okay, this is where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just was everything that real life trading was about, the community. Then after getting started, once we signed up, you started the Slack channel for us, and me and the other guys started just talking before we even started the program, started becoming friends and clicking.
Right.
And that all rolled into everything. It's like, okay, now we've got a group.
So you felt like you were home, right?
I feel like I'm home. I have now found that direction where I know I'm where I need to be with the group I need to be to get me where I want to go.
Love having you on the team, man.
Thanks,
hey,
sir.
So let's think back 29 Palms, right? You're a young corporal. I don't know if you're probably thinking at this point, because you already did one enlistment, you're thinking, okay, 29 Palms, it's good to go, but I'm ready to move on and do something else. But let's think about if you're in the military today, right? Or when you were back as a corporal. If you would have known now, or back then what you know now, obviously I know things have been a little bit different, but today, right? We live in a very hectic world, right? Where you got troops deployed all over the world. You really think it's feasible for a service member, a woman, man today that is in the service, serving their country, you think it's feasible for them to learn how to trade stocks today?
Absolutely. With the technology that's out there, it is absolutely feasible to learn it and to do it. And when I think about myself, how I was back then, you would have had to do a lot of convincing for me to take 2 hours on a Saturday in Palm Springs to take, that's the way I was. I wasn't going to, in the 29 Palms, everyone that's been there knows there's nothing at 29 Palms. You've got to go Palm Springs, Vegas, or wherever. And it was great. And I was living the life. And so how I thought about that question, how would I told talked to myself into this investment self, and even what you're doing now, and to just take those 2 hours at a Palm Springs hotel that you could do with a laptop, how that was going to pay off for me, even while I'm in my future. It would have been easy when I thought about like how those, we didn't make much money and how we had to learn. We had fun, but those Wednesdays before paydays, we were scraping up money combined to get a pizza and a couple beers. Like if I would have learned to trade back then, with the time I had, that would have, even if whatever you would have made, that would have paid for that weekend hotel room. Or instead of having just to go to Vegas, or you could have went to Vegas that weekend instead of Palm Springs. Like, it would have been a game changer back then.
I guess what you're saying is very practical today. With technology, people can take, a couple hours a week, start learning how to trade, start generating that extra income stream, and potentially give them skills for when they get out of the military, right?
If you join the program now and you're still in, you're going to have a different outlook on your future, because you're going to see how you can invest for down the road, and you're going to get some life skills from everybody that's already been through it. There's no way around. And it's not only just, like we say class on Saturday. It's fun. It's fun. We have fun doing it and learning. You're not taking away from maybe you're taking away a little poolside action, but you're gonna have fun doing it.
Yeah. What I love, something you just said, just options. Gives people options, right? You have the skills that give you options to do things that you couldn't even imagine, and potentially move you towards financial freedom, right?
You'd have the options to do stuff while you're in, and the options of you could set your sights on something different when you got. Like I said, when I got out, I had my option was going to jail in a way.
Yeah,
but
not in jail, but working
in a different way. In a different way, but the options I could have had to get out could have took me on a different path. I don't regret it, but I could have had different options, or I could be in a better position now, heading into retirement.
Yeah.
On all different levels.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So let's think about this. Today, service members, they get a lot of different military incentives, right? Financial incentives. When we deploy, we get those tax-free months, right? Which is extra income, because instead of paying those taxes and going out, it's staying in your bank account. We're getting bonuses, right? For re-enlistment. We're getting bonuses for, certain MOSs. What do you think service members should do with that money, right? Because they're getting this extra money that they normally get or don't get outside of their normal paycheck, and now they're getting sometimes literally 5-figure bonuses. What should they do with that, Eric? I mean, you got any thoughts and ideas there?
Take it and invest in yourself.
Love
Take
that.
it and invest in your future. you can, I don't even know what the bonuses are nowadays, but I remember like a big bonus when I was in was like $20,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, right?
You could take that, invest in yourself, and start investing that so that you can take that, and at the worst case, get out with that 20,000 and have an education, all that. Or you can start rolling that into having more when you get out, giving yourself more options. Or, everybody joined the Marine Corps or the military for different reasons. And some people join it, to help their families out. You can take that 20,000 and maybe you think they need it now, but you can take that and make it a long-term investment to where you can help them out down the road, or help out the family you don't have now. Put that aside for when you get out.
Great point.
Like you get married when you wait until you get out to get married. Start investing it now for the kids you don't have.
Right. So what I heard you say basically is take some of that money. Sure, enjoy yourself, buy some things, that you always wanted, but why not take that money, invest it in stocks, invest it in yourself, which is just a great plan, right? You're investing in yourself. That's a personal growth plan, and we all should be working to improve ourselves every day. But you take that money, you invest it in stocks. That money then increases in value. Those stocks increase in value. It gives you proceeds. You take those proceeds while still retaining your bonus money in those stocks, and you take that money and you either pay down your debt or make a new payment or buy a new car and make those payments on your car or whatever you wanted to buy, right? Turning that money into a cash making machine while you're still able to retain it and not just get depreciated by going out and using it to buy a car, right? Once you pay for that car, then that car is depreciating in value. But if you retain that into a money-making machine, which is then making the payment on the car, like no brainer, right?
Yeah. It just from the short time I've been with you in real life trading, military, and you'll learn just by joining the mentorship more about life and how money does work in that. And to what you just said, like, you're not just learning how to trade. You're teaching us, about life and how money plays into that and how to look at those bigger goals and the bigger picture of, hey, take some money, absolutely have fun with it, but look down the road, or how can you look even short term and long term how to do that. There's a lot more that goes into the program you set up than just learning how to trade, like how to set up for your future.
Right.
Like like we said in our group, one of the guys, he's getting ready to retire. He's in an awesome spot. We all, we're all getting ourselves there, but like, I can't imagine if I'd have stayed in the whole time and started learning this just before retirement, of where he can go with this.
Yeah. Yep. So can you imagine what Mike has, to look forward to? Is in his 30s, retiring from the military.
Right.
And
he may never have to work if he, at some point, like way before us.
Yeah, absolutely. So take that money, that bonus money, invest in yourself, turn it into a money-making machine, and, buy the things that you want to buy, reduce your debt, build your dream instead of somebody else's dream, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about your future for a second, and let's talk about financial freedom. So do you really think it's realistic to achieve financial freedom through trading stocks? And like, what are your plans in the future? When we talk about financial freedom, right, we're not only talking about having the money to live a nice lifestyle and have the things that you've always wanted to have and be able to help other people with it, but having the time in your life, right? Instead of having to go to work, now you have a skill where you're back on your computer in the morning, pushing some buttons, generating, income where you can live a heck of a nice lifestyle, right? What do you see in the future for you, Eric?
For me, like I don't know what my future is holding and exact, or what my dreams are going forward, but I definitely have the belief and the feeling that I've already started whatever that future is, whatever that dream is, just by joining your group and being a part of this. Because I just
That's
it's
awesome.
one of those things you feel and and I know the financial freedom, it's all going to be tied together. Like, I've already started experiencing it in the way of when I was trying to learn everything on my own, and trying to put it together and getting frustrated that why can't I figure out, well, one of the reasons is I'm not putting the time to let it work, you know, where I would be stressing over, got to go do this, got to learn this, got to go read this book, or just the hours I was wasting stressing over things I shouldn't have been stressing over. So I'm already starting to feel that, you know, I just go spend some time, go look at the charts, go do this, go do that. And I'm having more freedom and I'm just more relaxed about where I'm going to go with this, where this is going to take me. So that part's already started. And the goals and the dreams, I don't know what they are, but like we've talked about, for me, everything's always been, for me, joining the Marine Corps was because I wanted to be a part of something.
Right.
You know, the Marine Corps has its traditions and all that. I wanted to be a part of that. Then when I got into the facility, I was a part of that, starting this place of grounds, even dealing with COVID, being a part of it. Now I'm getting close to that retirement. You know, what's that going to look like? And since we've met and just being a part of the, you know, the real life trading community, okay, I'm finding where I'm going to be a part of next in my life. And what that turns into, I don't know. If it's, like we said, if it's just being on Slack, talking to people, or whatever you've got planned that I can be a part of. It's that freedom that I'm getting in my life through it all.
So I think what I just heard you say, tell me if this is right or not.
Okay.
So that you mentioned freedom, and I heard options. So when you learn how to trade stocks, we talked about a little bit before, it gives you those options, right? Those options give you the ability to make decisions, and part of those decisions is whether, you know, you're going to make that a full-time business doing that and leading that into financial freedom, or it gives you an option to do whatever you want to do and not have to worry about money. Is that what I just heard?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all of that. It's the options to be in charge of yourself.
There
you know, like first and foremost, whatever I do, whatever I put into this, as much as I want to put in this, and I want to do it, and I want to expand from swing trading to day trading, it's putting myself in charge of myself and where I'm going to go with everything.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling knowing that it's right there in front of me now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, another thing that I personally love is the fact that I've acquired skills that now that I can pass on to my kids. I mean, not many people in life are able to say, hey, look, I got something that you can learn, that you can put, you know, your time and effort in, that you can personally grow into and teach them those skills. And gosh, man, I'm not even worried about my kids in the future because I know they're already trading stocks, right?
That's awesome.
Can you imagine trading stocks,
awesome.
You know, when you're not even in college yet, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm giving them skills that then they now can have those options, right? That freedom, that not worry of how they're going to survive in this world. So that's one of the things that I really love.
It is, and that is, you know, and for me where I'm at, I'm learning the skills on how to trade from the technical aspect, but I've learned so much more already just about life through all the psychology stuff we do.
Right.
That's carrying over, not just for trading and like in my life as a whole. Like, okay, why am I acting or anything? You know, like it really is as it's told. It's life before trading. It just rolls into that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think another thing, my interpretation of you, Eric, is you want to give back too. You know, you've told me that a lot of times before, and to be able to do that and help other people, especially from the community that we came from the military, if we're able to help those girls and those guys learn a new skill and potentially achieve financial freedom, I mean, what an unbelievable reward that we'll have, right?
Oh, just that, or especially the guys and girls that are still in. If anything that we do, or if anyone has a conversation with me that if they need, like, hey, learn this, that way when you get out, so they don't have to go, because there's a lot of hardships we see the veterans going through.
Yeah.
You know, like it's on the news all the time. Sometimes not as much as it should, but if get some of them where they don't become that, what's that, 11% home or part of the 11% homeless.
Yeah.
Or to feed, or just to help themselves, like, and help their families. That alone would be awesome. And just all the other stuff that you've talked about, where you want to take this, it's going to be awesome just to be a part of that on some level.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So that's a great lead into the last question I have, because you talked about helping people, right? Mm-hmm. So real life trading military program, I'm going to ask you about that in a second. But as you know, that's a place where we really want to put our heart and soul into it, because that's a place where we want to help needy active duty folks and veterans. You just said it yourself. For some reason, we got homeless in this world, especially in the United States of America. And out of all those homeless people, 11% of them are vets. There's no reason why that should happen, right? We have, kids that are growing up. Unfortunately, today, they've lost either their mother or their father through war, right? And we're going to be helping kids out that are part, not only in the military, but we're going to focus in especially on those Gold Star kids, right? Yes. And then we're going to focus in on helping out just the military folks in general, like, our buddy Mike, right? He's getting out of the military here soon, and he's looking to figure out, what he can do next. He's figured it out now. He's part of our group, and we're helping him achieve potentially lifetime goals. So that being said, and that's going to be our military, Real Life Trading has got a military foundation that they're setting up, right? And it's everything going to be from feeding children, in the world, to human trafficking, and our piece is going to be the military. That's going to fall under the Real Life Trading military program that we have. You're part of it right now. Tell me what you're feeling about the military mentorship program and the Real Life Trading military program in a whole.
Well, the mentorship program as learning has just surpassed everything I thought that I was going to get out of it. Like, I've gotten so much more out of that in 7 weeks already that, like I said, I can't even describe it. You just get so much out of it. Just that the bond that we've already started within our group, just being able to chat, get on by ourselves. There's no price on that alone. I mean, there's just not. It's just been so awesome. Like, I can't wait to see what the next programs are going to look like. And like I told you, I said, if you're got 6 slots, you only got 5, just charge me. Just tell me when to be there, because I'm in it.
From an education perspective, I mean,
from the education perspective on that, just learning, discipline, confidence, like starting to take away, like we was talking about, for everyone that's watched Platoon, you start studying on your own, you start trying to learn on your own, you're trying to put it together, you can't. And it's like that moment in Platoon where Charlie Sheen and they're getting ready to go out in their first night ops, and I guess it was either Barnes or Elias just starts going in their bag. You don't need this now. You don't need that now. You just focus on this. You're going to be fine. So from the education standpoint, from that, I've gotten everything more than I thought I would. Coming up with a plan, someone reviewing my plan, saying, how does the plan come up? Like, okay, stick to this, holding you accountable for it. Getting me into all that psychology that, everyone, and I was one, at the very beginning last year at this time, like, what is that all about? How much that really plays into it. That's just awesome. What we did as a group, when you set the Slack channel up and we were able to start talking to each other before we even had our first class, just about nothing, or can get on there. But now it's developed to where if I have a question about something or I feel I've fallen behind, somebody in that group is going to get on with me and explain it to me and help me, or it could be anything. Like there really is, we were talking about no person left behind.
Right.
Like I was worried about that before I even signed up, just like, what if I'm a guy that's holding us back? Like, don't worry, we're going to get you there if it takes our own time to do it. And from the non-education part of where you want to take everything, the thing back and all that, that's even 10 times more awesome. Like, we're going to be a part of that. Awesome. We're all going to be in on that, and that's awesome.
So Eric, let me ask you, when we designed that design program, right, it was designed around, there's so much information out there, right, about trading. And most people come in as beginners, have no idea of like what to do, where to start, where to go, how to put a plan together. So this program was designed really around a hand-holding type of system where I take people as their mentor, right? And not only we spend time in a group together, and we've built that camaraderie, and we've built that buddy system and accountability type of system where we're bouncing ideas off of one another, right? But I'm spending one-on-one time with each individual in that group and shaping and molding their needs and giving them direction of where I think they need to go, right? Because there's nowhere out there that will tell an individual, hey, what do I do first? What do I do second? And progress through the system. So I've been with you doing that for 7 weeks now. Has that met your expectations? I mean, is that a good system, do you believe, to continue?
Far surpasses. Like just that just the group time as a whole is awesome. And we get a lot of that. But then to go even further into that one-on-one time where it's just me and you, and you hear all the time, everybody does, there's rules of trading, but everybody has their own personality. And it has to fit into that. Just working one-on-one with you helps develop that. Like my personality might not be the same as someone else's, and we all have different things that we can see even as the group that we're good at, that if we focus on that and you kind of get us there. But then when we do the group thing, yes, there's that hand holding, which is awesome, which I definitely needed. But then there's those times just in our group that you take the training wheels off of us, where we have to pull up the chart and explain and try to teach what we're doing to each other, And you're not going to lose any money because we're just talking to each other. Like that for me is huge. Like, okay, I'm going to show everybody what I was seeing. And then we all discuss it as a whole and everyone brings their perspective. Did you see this? Or you didn't see that? Or when someone else looks at it, like, I never saw that.
Right.
And it kind of starts helping you build that muscle memory to where I had so much stuff in my head that I couldn't sort through. Or, I had something else more that I was looking at, like, that's not important right now. Focus on this, and then everyone gets to do it as a group, and we're all learning from that. And now it's to the point where we do it on our own at times, like, hey, can someone jump on here? And we're doing it.
Yeah.
And then you take the training wheels off at times, like, hey, pull up one of your charts, or here's your assignment. Find me a chart. I had no idea what back trading was 7 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. Now, okay, I'm saying like, oh, wait a minute, I can do 3 years worth of training, or practicing in this amount of time, and how that plays into everything.
Yeah.
And then you got to go back trade something, and then you're going to back trade it live with us.
Yeah.
What did you see? It's just an incredible foundation building process, like you said it would be in the beginning, and it's far surpassed what I thought.
That's so awesome, man. That makes me so happy. Hey, everybody, we want you on our team, right? Guys like Eric, myself, we're here at Real Life Trading because we're acquiring those skills. We are moving out towards financial freedom, right? We want to give back to our community, and we want you guys on our team, but you got to take the first step, right? So you're watching this video either because you're interested in generating another income stream, or you're thinking about, okay, either I'm getting out of the military because I want to do other things, or you're getting ready to retire. What am I going to do next, right? So why not check us out? Like Eric was talking about, it's free. All you got to do is go to reallifetrading.com and go see what Eric was talking about. Go look at all the classes, all the information that we have for free. Next thing that you should do is go to our YouTube channel, right? Our Real Life Trading YouTube channel that we have. Go there, hit subscribe, and go look at all the literally thousands of videos that we have, all for free, all on trading education, and you can check out there all different things about trading and check that out. The other thing you could do is contact me or Eric, right? If you got questions, if you want to get more in depth in something, we'd love to talk to you. Start by sending me an email. You can send me an email at Jonny@reallifetrading.com. That's JONNY @reallifetrading.com. Shoot me a message, ask me questions. If you want to talk to Eric, I'll put you in touch with him. We can talk and chat on the phone, whatever you want to do. But we're here to help you guys. I had somebody like this to hand walk me through a system, right? And that's why I developed it. And Eric has been one of the guys first in the chute, and you just heard him. You heard him talk about the program, and there's no fluff or stuff here. We want to give back to you and help you guys out. So if you're interested, come check us out, man. We'd love to have you on the team. Eric, thank you so much for spending time. And I know, man, one of the things I love about you, not only are you a giver, and you want to help people, but you just put your heart and soul in things, and you speak the speak, man. When you say something, I know you do the walk, right? And I love it about you. Any last words of wisdom, thoughts, ideas for everybody?
Thank you for letting me be a part of this, and this being my first step of giving back. And if anybody has questions, you can ask me. And Jonny, I love you and everything you've done for me already. And you, like you said, you're no fluff, and you generally care about people. You care when you take on the next group, you're going to care about them. And so people know he's going to give you everything. I don't know how he does it. He's going to give you everything he's got to get you where you want to be.
What I love is you're going to be a part of that. So you're going to be helping people learn exactly what you've learned over the last 8 weeks. So again, man, really appreciate you spending time with me here. And gosh, man, I look so forward to our future together. We're going to do this. I'm really excited about that. So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said we got great things ahead.
Oh, yeah. So contact us, guys. You got to take the first step. You know how to check us out. Go check us out. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for visiting with us today. Thanks for listening. And we hope we talk to you guys soon. From here in Hawaii, aloha for now. Take care, everybody.